Now in Econ, let's review for quiz 3. Which term am I talking about? The dropping or relaxing of restrictions and limits. Deregulation. Growth through successful scientific research and strength. Technological advance. A huge union of large corporations or utilities. Mega merger. Those that are in support of something. Proponents. True or false? The Airline Deregulation Act was put into effect in 1978. True. One purpose of deregulation is to open up the doors of competition to many businesses in order to offer consumers greater choice in blank services or products. Purchasing. Central points of business. Hubs. Realigning or adjusting to meet new qualifications or needs. Restructuring. Guidelines for controlling costs and expenditures by the consumer. Price setting standard. Work done for others. Service. Legal proceedings that deal with the concerns of those who declare insolvency are held in a blank. Bankruptcy court. The right to take, sell, or hold property as security or payment of a debt. Lien. Obligation to pay to another a certain amount of money which has collateral that the creditor may seize. Secured debt. A promise or obligation to pay to another a certain amount of money which has no collateral. Unsecured debt. The act of being declared legally insolvent. Bankruptcy. The section of the United States Code which deals with the rules and procedures of bankruptcy. Title 11. The responsibility to pay debts and due notes. Financial obligation. The exhortation by Paul in what reference is, "Owe no man anything, but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law." This simply means that continual debt is not pleasing to the Lord. Where is this found in the Bible? What is the scripture reference? Romans 13:8. True or false? In a bankruptcy, the priority debts, the debts that the court feels should be paid first, are paid. Then the unsecured debts are added up. True. But if any provide not for his own, or specially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than a what? Infidel. What was the first state to undertake the restructuring of the electric utility industry on a statewide basis? California. True or false? Those that are in support of something are called opponents. False. True or false? After passage of the 1996 deregulation law, the baby bells started merging with each other, and two of them attempted to re-merge into AT&T. True. True or false? A lone utility company, Detroit Edison and Consumers Power, faced new competition as deregulation gave people a choice between utility companies. The company tried to battle the act by asking for funds to cover stranded costs and lost income once the process was underway, but the deregulation went through. True. True or false? Deregulated investor-owned utilities are known as IOUs. True. True or false? The Marshall Plan was an anti-monopoly act which awarded the victim of a monopoly 3 times the amount that his business lost. False. True or false? In deregulation, government tightens controls and does not allow other companies to enter the market. False. After deregulation, the California electric customer had his choice between how many utilities throughout the state? 7. The debtor surrenders his non-exempt property for division among his creditors, but will still be obligated to pay any debts that the bankruptcy court determines have not been forgiven by the division among the creditors. This is known as what? Liquidation. True or false? A Chapter 13 bankruptcy filing is called a reorganization. True. True or false? Financial responsibility in the home is found in the Bible passage of 1 Timothy 5:8. True. True or false? In a Chapter 13 proceeding, the debtor surrenders his non-exempt property for division among his creditors. False. True or false? A Chapter 7 bankruptcy is known as a straight liquidation. True. Give the scripture reference for Jesus taught financial responsibility to the government. Okay, what scripture reference shows where Jesus taught financial responsibility to the government? Matthew 17:27. True or false? The histories of Great Britain and France are filled with terrible stories of debtors' prisons and penal colonies where people were sent because they could not pay their debts. True. What are the purposes of deregulation? There are 3 answers. To offer consumers greater choices, to encourage technological advances, and to lower rates. Deregulation is about blank, let me start over. Deregulation is about increasing blank and reducing blank. Increasing supplies and reducing rates. The right to take, sell, or hold property as security or payment of a debt. A lien. True or false? The responsibility to pay debts and due notes is called financial obligation. True. Okay, I want you to go through and study for this quiz. If there's anything here you have problems with, I want you to go back and keep studying it and make sure you know it before you take this quiz.